This is going to be my longest video. And I've said just about nothing for an hour. All right, let me premise this by saying that I never expected to have 1 million followers or something at all. I thought at best, and I'm saying at best, over a couple year period, my goal, I'm a realistic person. I'm not going to think crazy. My goal was 5,000 subscribers in 2 years. That was my big layout. Now, I didn't think that was absolutely a crazy idea. I really didn't at the time. It seemed reasonable if you think about it, you know, because you think once you get 500 or something, you get a couple more here, a couple more there. I've watched videos I've done. Today, my new plan today is, all I'm saying is, I'm not some real dumb person where I thought, oh, I'm going to be I'm some special guy and I'm going to just take over the internet. I'm not that dumb, naive. I didn't think that at all. I thought that with some hard work, getting better at editing, blah, 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 I'd be looking at 5,000 subscribers one day. Maybe. That would have been my ultimate goal, you know. I wasn't coming at this from some sort of googly-eyed, you know. And now I'm like, it's to the point where it just doesn't even make sense anymore. Like my video the other night, okay? Okay, now mind you, listen here. I understand what you're thinking. You're like, Switch, you're not really doing anything. I get that, okay? I'm going purely based on facts here. I'm going to give you a fact. The other day, within one day, I had 60 views. Within one night, one wake up, I had 60 views on that, what do you call it video? Stir fry video. For some reason, people click that stir fry video. I don't know why, but what I'm saying is, since I woke up and it was at 60 that day, it's like they just shut it off. It's just nobody, there hasn't been a click since, is what I'm saying. How can 60 people click it overnight and then not one click after that unless it's being deliberately not shown anymore? I don't know. And then you look at the one I had with when I'm dancing with the Eeyore costumes. One's got 1,000 views, over 1,000 views. And then a couple days later, I get even more elaborate, better music, I would say, with a shovel, and it gets 100 views and they just shut it off. Like it just instantly dies. Like it's not like a slow death or it's just instantly dead, you know? All these gurus claim to know that like what you're supposed to do, and trust me, I've watched their videos about making them private and then turning them public after so many hours. And so today is I'm just having a brainstorm because I know like people that are gonna be interested are just gonna be certain people, and some on my channel won't. But I need to brainstorm new ideas, you know? And then plus putting this video out just puts another video on. Because now I went back, and if any video had any type of copyright thing on it at all, like with music or anything, because in the early days I had no idea what it was. And I found 3 of them. I took them off because they weren't that good anyway. So they weren't even worth my time worrying about it. So, because I started thinking, well, I wonder if those add up in the background, you know, with YouTube. Like they look and they see a channel has a couple of those from like, I used a little dub of a sound or whatever that wasn't allowed. So I took those down because those videos were junk anyway. So that every day I'm trying to figure it out, you know, because I know you guys don't want to see me shower. I don't think anybody in America wants to see me shower outside or something. I laugh at that because it's a running joke on the RV community that these guys work so hard to put out such great content. And then one girl goes to take a shower. Does this RV shower work? And then takes a picture of, you know, and she gets over 3 million views. And the other guys that are working so hard to build gardens, show you how to build battery banks, all these very, very essential things you need to learn. Because we've lived in the woods in an RV. Learning how to put together a battery bank, solar panels, all this stuff, so important. You're not going to make it without it. What do you think? Do you think anybody clicks on those videos to learn anything? No, they want to see girls showering in the woods. So that's the running joke in the RV community, you know? I hear it almost every time. Anytime you even look up an RV video, that's what you're going to get. Girls showering in the woods is what people want to watch. They don't want to learn how to live their life on a minimal existence. And they say they do. But they give up on that almost instantly. And it's right to the girl showering in the woods. Anyway, so today's a brainstorming. And I know I got some friends that really enjoy just conversations too. So, and I'm sure people that see it'll be 40 minutes long or something will be like, nope, not watching that one, which is okay with me. But I'm not naive to think I was smarter and better than everybody. You have to be smart enough. You have to believe in yourself enough and have some sort of a self-perpetuating belief that you can do it, or there'd be no reason to do it. You do have to have that. But I wasn't dumb enough. Like, I get a lot of people's buddies and stuff will say, like, have you lost your goddamn mind? You know? And that's another thing I got to probably try to stop swearing. I almost wonder if the algorithm's like, you would think swearing when you, I mean, don't they even swear in church nowadays? I mean, like, big deal, you know, as long as you're not saying the big ones, you know? I mean, but, there's got to be an answer. And I'm tired of hearing people like, Switch, you're just, it's not, your videos are, there's nothing to them. There's no substance. Switch, you're not doing, like, this isn't how it is. Or, well, listen. There's only half truth in that. I told you some of my videos are, like the chili video did 51 views in one night. You get what I'm saying? Listen to me. Listen closely. One night, I went to bed. Within 8 hours, 12 hours, it did 51 views. Now, why did it do 51 views and then just stop at 51 and nobody's ever clicked it again? Because they're not showing it. And they're not giving me an answer why they just shut mine off. Is it because you got to have so many likes? Like a percentage of likes stuff. And if you ever notice how hard it is to get likes, if you're on YouTube, you have no, it's just insane. Even if people like your video, they don't click the button. Why do you think every video you watch, all the way through it, they keep saying click like, click like, click like, over and over 20 times. And then I get so annoyed with some of those guys that it's like, I'm not even going to click like if you ask me again, you know? And then when you're in the position, you're like, I'm still not going to ask because I know people won't do it anyway. But is that what YouTube's doing? Is if you're not getting enough, you get enough click-throughs, and then they don't actually hit the like button, and is it shutting your video down? I don't know. And I'm sick of watching all these people. They're all frauds saying they know the answer to YouTube's algorithms. That's just a whole nother thing. That's like the RV community that 90% of these guys, because I knew one, 90% of them are pretending to be in this RV and they go to a motel or they own a house. It's 90% of these guys are BSing you, you know? They're pretending to live one way and they're not at all living that way, you know? Or they're telling you about all these stocks they invest in and they don't even have a portfolio. You know, you can make all this stuff up. All this stuff is relatively easy compared to editing. You could go make a spreadsheet and show that you're a huge stock market guru and have nothing in the market, you know? And that's what's going on, people, you know? But there's, like I said, I was never naive to think I was going to break into that. You basically have to make it a criminal empire, you know? Rent a Ferrari. I never thought I was going to be one of those guys, ever. And I broke the top of this pan. So when you look at this video and you roll your eyes and you're like, Switch, you're an idiot. Okay, you're a damn fool if you thought you're going to get subscribers. I'm not buying into that theory either. There's a middle ground. I didn't think I was going to be have 1 million subscribers of people that want to watch me cook bacon. I thought over a couple year period, I could amass 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people that didn't mind my personality. And we have conversations on the YouTube and have fun and come up with ideas or, you know, have a creative channel type of deal. It's, you know, vlog, create different ideas. But just saying, Switch, you're a moron is not an answer. You know what I mean? It's not true. I am a moron. That is true, but that's not the reason I only have 43 subscribers. And then I'll randomly get ads from YouTube asking me if I want to start paying. Come on, you're telling me that this isn't all connected to some sort of paywall where like they'll give you so many views and then all of a sudden an ad comes in right after they stop giving you views that says support your channel with advertisement or pay to have it pinned people's. Come on. Same with TikTok. Once my view count hit 1,500, they tried asking me for money. They said they'd give me, I don't know how many thousands of views for $10, 25,000 or something. And the moment I didn't do that, I didn't get another single view on that. I'm not paying. That's not even real, right? I just wanted a fair shake, guys. Like, I'm not here to complain to you. Like, it sounds like I'm a whiny bitch and everything, but here's the thing. I'm just telling you where I'm at, and this is a video I have to put up anyway today. And I was going to cook my bacon for the week. And surprisingly, there's like 20-some people that like my bacon videos. So I don't want to come off as that guy. I'm trying to brainstorm an idea here with you guys. What I can do next. So I did that copyright thing. Anything that had that. It's just... I got into it and I knew it was going to be frustrating, but I don't think I realized how big of a con the game is. Don't get me wrong. I already told you, like, they're never in this world. You're never going to, if you're like a certain demographic, you're going to make it almost any field in life. Like, come on, let's all be honest with each other. Can we? Let's all be honest. If I could bench press 400 pounds, I was on steroids and I was fucking had chiseled jawline and I was 6'4", I'm going to get thousands and thousands of views right away. Come on, let's not lie about it. Let's not sit here and be naive. I'm a normal, goofy guy. I'm not a girl. I'm not a bombshell. I get all that, guys. So don't think when I complain and stuff or when I'm talking about it that I thought I was that person, okay? I've come at this with a really, really reasonable number, you know? Like, just to make it fun would be like 2,000 subscribers, 2,500 subscribers over a couple of years would make it just an awesome experience for a creator, you know, to get more involved, you know. I did not come at this thinking I was a superstar. I know sometimes I don't know how my personality comes off to other people, you know. That's the problem too, you know. It might just be, well, I did get a couple contents calling me homosexual. I got a couple calling me, I got mostly negative comments besides people that know me. They've called me, they've told me I've wrecked their lives, their days. They've told me, I don't know how many times they've called me annoying. I'm just making fun and I'm just making creative content. Like, it's not like, man, I look at these thumbnails too, and it's like, I don't want to be that guy that completely lets somebody down. Like when I put a picture of Eeyore and stuff, I actually do use the hot dog with the costume. When I'm driving around with Eeyore's head, I drive around with Eeyore's head. Like, I don't want to put, like yesterday when I went to that house when I was driving and there was cops and ambulances, I don't want to put a background on my thumbnail that's all cops, ambulances, my face going. Like, that's such a sellout thing to do. And then you don't even have any real, there's no real substance to your videos. It's such a, everybody's doing them too. Go look. Everyone. Like all the travel people are doing it, and their thumbnails are like guys with guns. And then you watch them walk the city, and not one time are they in any danger. They're scared to go into any real trouble. Well, not all of them, you know. Some of them are willing to do things, but you get what I'm saying. Like, man, where is the line of... And then people tell you to use TikTok. I've been on TikTok. That's the worst of them all. You know how many millions of views you need to get to even have a chance at making anything out of it? Millions. millions and millions and millions of views. If you and that you're still in the hundreds of dollars. You got to basically make 1 billion views to basically, if you're going to do TikTok, have an idea and you got to go viral, you know, like, don't get me wrong. You can get a lot of clicks and people can like you and blah, 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 and boom, boom, boom. And that can give you some sort of satisfaction or whatever. If that's that's exactly what you want, is just little empty fun stuff. But if you're looking for like serious making content, like trying to get like an actual like community of people together that are just in life around, you know, the same types of topics like parks or fishing or stupid little creative comedy or talking about for instance how YouTube's been treating how YouTube seems to work, you know, that's a topic of its own. Or the universe. I've been in the universe a lot lately, but that's such a niche group of people. I've been I don't know if you guys have been watching, but they're the Hawking radiation and stuff. They're trying to figure out whether or not information is basically deleted. I don't know. I wouldn't call it deleted, but dissolved would probably be the word. Because if it's dissolved, that's got huge implications. So like if Hawking found out that the particles can split at the event horizon, right? I've been really into that lately. It's quite the topic. And at the event horizon, and if that were the case, which I think it is, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, they proved it. That's why it's called Hawking radiation. That would imply they still don't know if the other half of the part. There's two particles are connected by the string, and they still don't know if one can save all the information of the other one that went in, type of deal. They're trying to do math, because what happens is if you can have information deleted, I don't know. That means that the universe can, you start having implications for there not being any real rhyme or reason to why we're even here, which kind of sucks, you know? So then scientists have really been working hard on, and they think they do have an answer to it. So you got Kaku and them guys working on it, and they think that the information now is not lost. At first they thought it was, which almost would imply that there's no God. If information can actually be lost, it implies that it could almost imply that there's no chance for eternal salvation or whatever. Which that's why it's so touchy even in science to get into because of a topic, because first off, it's niche. Second off, you better be really smart because you're going to have everybody in the comments knows more than you. And third, it always clashes with religion. Like I like science that works with religion and stuff because everybody should be included in. People shouldn't dismiss other people for their beliefs, you know? You know? You can be really smart. You can believe in God, and or you don't have to. Like it should be it's everybody's choice. They shouldn't be put down because they believe in Jesus and God, or if they believe in even Muslims. If that's what they believe in, Muhammad and stuff. It's just all about having respect for people. That's how I feel, you know. Until people don't have respect for you, then it's whatever, you know. But that's getting harder and harder in this world. Everybody seems to be classifying everybody. Well, it's all of us. It's everybody on YouTube. It's everybody in the media. Everybody's vilifying everybody because it's the only way to sell your book. You know, just going at this and trying to be a YouTuber with 5,000 views is the dumbest idea I could come up with because it's not even a thing anymore. I don't think like it was. You know, what's going on with these YouTubers that got 10,000 viewers that been on YouTube for a long time? Is they got people that kind of just stick around and see how they're doing in life. I went at this thinking that was the outcome. Like that should be the outcome, but they're dying stars per se in the universe. They had a following, they had a topic. I could name a couple, but they started one place when they got their 40, 50,000 subscribers, and then their star and their energy is kind of down to, you know, neutron star. Collapsing, you know, and now they got the dense molecules, the ones that are going to stick through everything because they've almost become like family. So they can make almost any YouTube video like cooking bacon and get 5,000 views. but they're not going to be. They're not, unless they come up with a new energy and a whole new idea on their channel. They're never really going to recreate the initial hype that they had. You know, I've been watching that. So when I went in on this thinking, oh, 5,000 subscribers would be great. That's not really a thing. It just looks like it's a thing because you'll see a lot of people with 5,000 subscribers. Well, they had an initial pop, I'm sure, and then it backed off and they've kept a couple. They've kept a percentage of their. It's not that they shot for 5,000 like I'm trying to do. They shot for 1 million. They had some sort of brief or maybe a prolonged moment of, like when you go to, when people used to go to that place in California. There used to be a whole bunch of streamers there that were doing very well at the time because it was so new and it was innovative. I should really research the names of stuff before I start talking. In California, they're on that BLM land. What's it called? The last free place on earth, they called it. I'll look it up just so I don't have to do all this editing. I don't really feel like editing today. I didn't get enough views and it takes hours and it's fun. Some days I really love it, but Slab City, where all them people are there and they sit there and tell you, "Boy, we got this nice library," and then it's open and it rains coming in, and then you got these people out there saying, "This is the coolest mountain," and there's turds running down the hill. I've been there one time. I drove through it. I didn't stay though. It's a dump. I mean, it's an absolute dump. And they tried so hard to make it look like, listen, I have nothing against the people there. There are probably some really decent people there. It appears decent people everywhere. But for years there, they had a lot of subscribers, a lot of people. They tried so hard to make this place sound like a real city, people. If you went there, you're going to be drinking. Oh my God, people! You got stray dogs. You got bands of thieves. Literally, there's no law. I mean, law can get there. Don't get me wrong. There's a town not too far away. The law can actually get there, but you certainly doesn't feel safe there if you're not part of their group. Then you got bands of thieves that kind of live on the outskirts because they've been kicked out of the society. The society, you know. They're doing nothing but trouble and looking for drugs and stealing. That's all you can do. What are they going to do? Get a job? Where are they going to get a job? What I'm saying is, you get these robust topics that show up for 5 years, and people capitalize on them. Like, you find a topic like that, and then say I found a topic like that, I outfit my van, and bang, I go out there with my camera and bring my gear, and I invest, say, $5,000-$10,000 in making it happen. And putting on a show and hitting a hot topic that everybody's clicking on YouTube for, you know what I mean? And then they're on to the next topic. And then the stars of that show that decide to stay there or never really could capitalize on their image. And I know some of these, so that's the only reason I'm bringing this up. I don't want to name names or not. When the idea and the algorithm and it's played out, which it pretty much is, all you have then is the certain little stars that never made it kind of just fizzle into the 5,000 viewer group. Like mukbang. When I was talking about that Royce guy, like there was that. Remember how huge mukbang was, and it's all you'd seen. Where there's that big people eating ridiculous amounts of food. What happened to that? You guys see that on your channel anymore? No, but a couple of years ago you couldn't get away from it. It was making multi-millionaires. That Nicky Avocado or what, Avocado, these guys, it made superstars out of these weirdos. I never understood that too. I never understood how people could watch somebody like that. Hey, I'm not judging anybody. Nicky Avocado, whatever the heck his name was. Who the hell wants to watch some guy, grown man eat ungodly amounts of gross food, man? Weird. It was weird to me. I never got it. Never understood the hype around it. But anyway, so then you had that trend. I don't know what you have now. Honestly, I really don't even know what you have now. I've been staying in science lately, science and math and the universe, and that it might be ever expanding. They're quite convinced it's ever expanding. Just it's mind numbing that humans can't even. We're born and we can't even comprehend the size of endless. You literally can't comprehend it. So until you have some sort of computer program or some sort of quantum computing, it's almost impossible for them to even come up with math to try to figure out how the universe even works. They can only localize it to the galaxy. Or so they can see so many billions of light years away. But even that, when the light gets here, how old it is. Billions of years old. Anyway, that's what I've been watching lately. But so I don't even know what the new trend is. It seems to me like a big trend is cities, but that seems to be dying too. These guys are doing everything they can to remain relevant on that now. So I don't know where it's going to go next. Then you see the trend with like I'm saying, it's all trends. YouTube's all trends. You either get on the trend or you're going to burn out like a neutron star. That's what that's exactly what I'm getting at. So the trend now was people that are just good looking or have a different look or whatever, and they build a little theme room and they watch other videos and react to them, reaction videos. And then by the time you learn, like by the time I'm gonna have to learn and get the right programs, and then I started thinking about just my videos, and I'm just a podunk idiot. Would take up probably 10 my 120 videos at what, 20 gigs a piece, more than that, 25 gigs, 100, that's what, 3 terabytes, 5, I don't even know how many terabytes. And how many real world terabytes, because you got to remember, you have the videos before you edit them, and then the main video after you edit it, so everything doubles there. Then when you add anything in, man, I bet you I'm already at 10 terabytes of information. Think about that. And I don't even make good videos. Like, my videos aren't even high class, and don't even get me started on 4K, guys. Sometimes I upload in 4K, it takes way longer, and honestly, that's got to be the biggest, this 4K and 8K stuff, maybe for video games and shading and stuff, it makes a lot of sense, okay? But in real life, it doesn't make any sense, I'm telling you. These guys, this one professional dude, I forgot his name, is still using an old camera that's like HD. I think it's 1080 or 1400, but it's old school. It's got to be at least 10 years old, and it's got way better zoom. The image is crystal clear, and it looks way better than a 4K camera. So this is just more BS they're shoving down our throat, And why do they call it 4K, 4000? They make it sound like 4000 when it's really only 56 pixels. Or is it 4000 pixels? I forgot, but it doesn't match up to the numbers. It's like they double everything. I don't know, people. It's not that I'm like angry or anything. I don't need the money or anything. I really wanted this to work, and I wanted a fair shake. And I want somebody to really prove to me I'm not getting a fair shake, that I am getting a fair shake, and that I'm just an idiot and I don't deserve to have a couple more viewers than I got. If they can prove that to me, I'll take it. I don't think they can. I think they're just saying stuff because it's just their own opinion that what I'm doing is a goofy thing to do. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. If you say, Switch, you're fucking goofy, I'd say, you goddamn right I am. It's pretty plain to see I'm fucking goofy by looking at my dancing around in costumes. And it's pretty safe to say I'm a fucking goofball. That's not an answer to anything, though. You know what I'm saying? There's no answer in that, you guys. That doesn't prove anything. That just proves I'm a goofy fucker. Well, you're probably always wondering, what the hell does Switch do back? Where does he put this grease? Well, this is what I do with it. When I go missing, and I just stepped in mud. But anyway, there's my fire pit. I dug her way deep into the ground. Probably shouldn't have that anywhere near the bacon. Look how quick though. I just wanted to show you. So basically what I'm getting at is I know I'm goofy. And I know it's a goofy dream to have 5,000 subscribers or whatever. But aren't we all a little goofy? Don't you guys all have like a little dream? It'd be like, I'm trying to come up with an analogy of something that you guys would like to do. Then you got to worry about all these lights, because who would have thought lights put off huge glares? And man, you know what it is? It's called cost of admission. Like, I don't want to come off as somebody, and I know I'm coming off as somebody that's just complaining. That's what the worst part about it is, because then people are like, that's not what it is. If you were cooler, or if you did this, or if you did that. There's something that's called price of admission. You're already talking to camera, right? So and just a microphone. The cheapest you can get your hands on, that's reasonable. Like this one here, the Action Pro for DJI, and a microphone set. This is without all the goodie bags and the stuff that extra charge. Then they want you to get these charger bags and stuff. And you're talking, my price of admission has already been over probably $500. And that's just to shoot. That's just to shoot these crappy videos. Then you're talking an editor program, and there's what's called price of admission, and that's what it's called, price of admission in life. When you want to do something, now the cost, I don't know how people afford it. It goes right into everything else. It's called like, you have to get so much of this. Lighting, you're supposed to have a light up pop-up stick that doesn't do glare. And so if I point this camera anywhere near any of these lights, if I turn this light on, you're going to see a big green glare on the screen because it's not the right photo capable lens, you know. And then if somebody sees that in a video that used to watching professional ones, they click right off, you know. Or you need, I don't even know how people do it. And you watching these electrical prices in these other states today, they got people crying and breaking down. Nobody even cares. These big companies now, you seeing that? That's a hell of a topic to get into if we're just having a conversation. And I'm going to make like an hour-long video about nothing anyway. They got guys on there just crying and breaking down. They can't even afford their electric bills are $400-500. We're talking $500 electric bills a month, people, because they moved in these, well, a lot of it's just corporate greed, but they moved in these data centers or $500 a month. I've never even heard something so ridiculous. Think about it. Because you got these people that are retired. God bless them, right? So they don't have, they're not out there starting pay. When they retired, they were making $10 an hour, people, some of these guys. $14, $15 an hour at these companies. They're getting Social Security is probably $1,500 a month or whatever to live on for the rest of their lives. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you I know better about the system, but let's be honest. Corporate greed is 90%. Crime is 90% of why these people aren't going to be able to retire. You know. Oh yeah, that's right. I had a comment about Raksha. She's outside right now. I'll be letting her in. But this video here is for me. Therapeutic. You know. She's the most docile dog during the day until she goes out or comes inside. Then she just goes nuts. There's no rhyme or reason for it. All day, she'll lay around on the couch. She's good. But when she wants to come in and go outside, she's just, her tail just starts whapping, whap, whap. Something about these, something about this bacon gives me peace. These bacon sandwiches. I only got 3 hours of sleep last night again. I don't know. The more you try to control sleep, I watch another guy talking about it. The more you try to control your sleep cycle, it seems the harder it is to sleep. He was a doctor. And the most interesting thing about the whole show was he said vaping's worse than smoking cigarettes. He says they're not going to tell you that. I'm a smoker, by the way. I try not to do it on camera because I think that nobody should smoke cigarettes. Nobody. I would never be. I'm the first to would tell any kid, don't you dare start that nonsense. But I'm having a really hard time quitting in life. You can give me tips and stuff, and I haven't gotten to a place in life where I don't have a family. I don't have, I'm not afraid to die. I'm not. I hate to say that because I know people always go, what do you mean? Or whatever, I'm just not anymore. I used to be. I used to hate the thought of it. You get to a point where it's whatever. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Why worry anymore? It's really that simple, even though it isn't, I used to have anxiety all the time. I'd worry all the time, and I don't want to end up dead. And, well, you're going to end up dead, and there's no way to beat it. So you can sit and let it control your whole life like it did for me, or get to a point where you just take control back in your life and say, you know what? If today's the day the good Lord's going to take me or not take me, then that's what it's going to be, Try to live in some sort of belief, some sort of moral dignity one way or another, even if, you don't believe, whatever. Who knows? That's a topic for another day. But seeing these people trying to pay $500 electrical bills, I'm not even making this up. These are real bills. I mean, these people, and they're just surcharges. The one lady, just the electric bill, I think it was Connecticut, just the surcharges. She used $20-some in actual water. And just the surcharges, her bill was $350. So they're adding on $320-some in just surcharges, like having water lines. And then when you shut these utilities off in some places, they make laws that they won't recognize your house as the inhabitable structure or whatever. In some of these smaller communities that got money or whatever, maybe they don't, I don't know, but you can't just shut your water off, or they say your house isn't inhabitable. If you come up with a different solution, like collecting rainwater, or it's just complete bureaucracy and theft. And man, how much longer can this world go on like that? I'm going to be all right because I got nobody to support, I chose a selfish lifestyle. I knew I wouldn't be a really good parent, and I was a pretty selfish person in general. And ADHD, bipolar type of deal. Could you imagine me chasing a little brat around? No. I thought history's just going to repeat itself, and I'm going to get a brat just like me. This is going to be the longest video I ever made. It's going to be about nothing. But the best TV show of all time was built on that premise. Seinfeld. That's almost like a religion itself. If you're a Friends or Seinfeld person, people have real serious, dead set beliefs in those two shows, one way or the other. Like, I think Friends was a little more, I don't know what word to give it, The writing was a little more loose and creative and whimsical. Seinfeld was very much life. There's a lot. I love Seinfeld personally. I'm not a Friends guy. To me is more like a bunch of 40-year-olds living across the hall from each other. Like, to me, that's like, I guess Seinfeld was the same way, but it actually made sense in the writing, the way that they had their jobs worked out. And it was a little more believable to me. Friends was more like Joey and these guys could not be this. Like, it was more like way over the top. I could really envision a Kramer as a neighbor. I really could. I'm probably biased. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be a talk video. Therapeutic for myself. I'm either one day, 10 years from now, going to look back on it and say, oh, I can't believe it. I was doing that. This is how it went. Or I'm going to look back on it and be like, oh my God, I forgot I even had a YouTube channel at one time. Oh. It sounds crazy, but the first 3 months my videos sucked. They probably still do, but no real idea what I was going at. And for 3 months in there, I really did forget I had a channel. It's like your brain puts it out of your mind. I was like, oh yeah, I wonder if I should go back and try that again. You know. I don't know why I do the stuff I do, to be honest. Well, a lot of it, I think, is because I really enjoy being around people and social settings and stuff. And it really isn't that anymore. You can't. You simply cannot do it. You can't. I like one of you guys to tell me how many friends you can really have that aren't just going to ask for favors or, you know, it's impossible. The days of having all these friends and all these, maybe in a higher class, I don't know. I think there are like levels to this game, you know. At my level, to look around, I'm lucky to have made it out of where I could be, let alone try to find friends. I don't think any high class people are going to be inviting me to a dinner date in my sweatpants, you know. And if they are, the red flags are going up. Anybody high class invites this goofball over to a really nice house to meet people in a higher strata of society. There's got to be some ulterior motive, you know, period. I really bacon in these sandwiches up today. That's how I feel. I feel defeated. I feel defeated on YouTube because I know I'm goofy and stuff. So it's not even that. Like, I get all that. I don't think people realize that sometimes when I'm talking. They think I got this big goals and dreams and stuff. I don't at all. But I could get on my phone and call people and probably get more people together than have subscribed in the last 6 months. That's defeating. You know? I'm not kidding when I say this. I thought about building a 20-foot YouTube sign and putting it on the front of the house. Matt Switch. YouTube. By the Packer Stadium here. So all the traffic driving by, you know. Because if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Except for the fact that I'm asking for trouble in a way. Unwanted attention. Other than that, it kind of makes sense because then I'm in the neighborhood. People kind of I do some Packer stuff once in a while. People will kind of get like a kind of like, you know, it might merge into something like that, you know, where I could do neighborhood parks and recreation over here. There's a lot of stuff. Packer walk, Snow Hill. Like, I thought about it. I'm just afraid of all the unwanted attention I get from my neighbors. They don't know me. I don't know them. I don't know any of my neighbors. I don't want to know anyone. Could you imagine if I invited my neighbors in? When I first moved in here, they're like, we should do dinner. Look around, people. Could you frickin' imagine coming to my house as a new neighbor? Could you imagine? Come on, let's take a look. Could you imagine bringing your wife or whatever over here for dinner? Look at it. Come on. Does it make me a bad person? No. But I'm very much realistic. The neighbor was saying to me, we should do a double back and forth. No, okay. Dinner date. You know, you come see my house, I'll come see yours. And I was like, I told him straight out, I'm loud and obnoxious and play my guitar too loud sometimes. And if I start drinking, I like to drink too much. And not a good idea. I really did. So I said, they asked me if the fence they got up would they should take it down to be more neighborly. Those are their exact words. And I'm like, no. I wouldn't if I had a neighbor like me. I'm just being honest. If I go out there on a Friday or Saturday and I light up a fire, it's going to be a big fire in the backyard. You know, not a little one. Music's going to be on. You know, arguments might ensue. Nobody needs that. I've learned it over my life. I've been evicted by 30 apartments. Probably about 30 of them. 90% of the time for noise. And that's why I've pretty much barricaded myself in here. Soundproofed everything the best I could all around. You like to make noise and get a little too crazy, I'm your guy. Wake up and not have to apologize for saying something stupid, I'm your guy. But if you're, it's hard to judge people, and if you're the kind of person that likes to hold grudges, and I'm not your guy. Drinking too much, things get said, people blah, 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 wake up and just laugh it off. Then you're my person. That's the kind of guy I am. I even got a sign up here in my bathroom that says exactly that. You know, and most signs say, live, laugh, and love. Mine says, I like to drink. I like to talk too much. I say things I don't mean. And it's basically live, drink, and say sorry or whatever. This is a sign. We do apologies well. That's me. That's my life. I do the best I can, and then sometimes I do really well for a couple weeks or whatever, and then sometimes I'll have a little bit too much to drink or something. Make a bonfire out there that's 6 feet high, and have my radio booming and a guitar playing. And I do the best I can to keep the noise in here. I've asked the neighbors; they said they haven't heard anything. So I don't know if they'd tell me, but maybe. So. Because I always say stuff like, well, you know, if you tell me I can make it better. If you don't tell me I can't, you know. But this is going to be my longest video. And I've said just about nothing for an hour. Thanks for spending time with me.